right, welcome to the very first Fields and Futures Huddle Up. We've got a very special guest today. It is 12-year NFL vet, former Texas Tech Red Raider, and leader of the Wes Welker Foundation, and current wide receiver coach of the Miami Dolphins, Wes Welker. How are you, sir?
Pretty good, Sam. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited to be able to talk to you today. It's been a crazy football season. I know you've just been all over the place. Obviously, being an NFL coach, you're a very, very busy man, but it's just fitting that you were the very first guest here for the Fields and Futures Huddle Up, as the Wes Welker Foundation has been absolutely instrumental in all the success that Fields and Future has had. I don't even know if you know this number, but you guys have invested almost $2.5 million in Fields and Futures, and it's had just an amazing impact on the Oklahoma City Public Schools District.
No, it's been pretty amazing. Years and years ago when we started this thing, probably about coming up on 20 years or so. But it has bim such a cool thing of how small it kind of started and kind of where it's gone and how far it's been taken. But Tim McLaughlin was such a big part of that. And it was such a cool deal because one of the things we always do in the foundation is we do like travel days to basically go to every place that we've invested in or given money to these programs and seeing everything and the difference that we made. And Tim came along on one of those rides. We get a bus and go around and everything. And he was just blown away by everything. And I think once you go and you see everything and you see a lot of these kids that, just don't have the same opportunities or the same, people basically investing in their futures when it comes to sports or anything else. And Tim saw the need of the fields and everything like that, that he felt like he could really make an impact, and he definitely has with Fields and Futures and being able to partner up with him and everything that we've kind of been able to grow into there in the Oklahoma City area has been really unbelievable, and just happy to be a part of it and happy to be able to give back in some way.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty obsessed with Fields and Futures. I'm from Youngstown, Ohio, and my last couple of years, we had to actually pay to play. We ended up losing about 40 kids from my high school football team. As freshmen, we ended up winning our conference, but losing those 40 kids, we ended up being pretty middle of the road those last couple of years, and it really impacted the way that we were able to compete. When I look at Fields and Futures, and we talk about nonprofits and charities, and it's that time of the year when you talk about just a giving season, but this is one of those things where I get in my vehicle and I can drive down to Oklahoma City and visibly see the impact that Fields and Futures has had. And when you look at the statistics for these kids now that have been a part of this program, they're going to school, they're getting better grades, they're competing at a high level in the city, they're getting scholarship opportunities that they wouldn't have had in the past, and they're getting mentorship from great coaches who have support from Fields and Futures. That's really changing their lives. Motivation, Wes, I mean, you know this as a great athlete yourself, like that's everything. And from the time that you're a sixth grader or a fifth grader and a coach looks at you and invests time in you and lets you know that you can be what you want to be, just gets behind you, that's a life-changing moment for a kid.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's the way we've always kind of looked at it. Like we don't necessarily look at it as donating. Like we're investing in these kids. We're investing in coaches. We're investing in people and that do it the right way and are about the right stuff. And you really see the kids coming together through that, through the investment, through the coaches, through the mentorships, through all the things that we try to provide the best we can. But it has been, it's been a super cool thing to go into these schools and see the impact that you're able to make. And I always go back to growing up or even being in the league or anything like that. Just the opportunities that a lot of these kids don't get that are such great athletes. It was just having that opportunity and people believing in them and all those different things and keeping them on the straight and narrow. And and all those things are such a big part of that. And I think the investment that we make in the coaches and the kids and everything else is done the right way. And I think that's why we've seen so many um, kids be able to take advantage of all these opportunities.
I tell people all the time that we've never seen the best basketball player. We've never seen the best football player because there's a story of some kid somewhere that just didn't have the opportunity to really truly shine, right? I think Fields and
Yep.
Futures, the Wes Welker Foundation, you are changing the path. And I, for one, am so thankful that you became a part of this. And I've got to ask, we know the Fields and Futures origin story, but how did the Wes Welker Foundation come apart?
Well, at the time, both my brother and sister-in-law were both teachers. My sister-in-law was, oh shoot, I forget the name of the school. It's right there by Heritage Hall, but a lot of free lunches for the kids. It was just bad environments for them, and when you get to see all those things firsthand, it kind of just tugs at you a little bit, like, okay, what can I do here? How can I help or use my influence, to try and help out in any way I can. And, a small idea or whatever just kind of grew into something. And we've been going almost 20 years strong now and doing it better than ever.
Now, look, we've got to get into a little ball as I've got you here for just a few minutes. You and I actually played against each other in the early 2000s while you were at Texas
Yep.
Tech and I was at Oklahoma State. We
Right.
were part of a couple of ESPN Instant Classics together. You were one of my most vivid memories of the game was watching you just do incredible things. 10, 11 catches, over 100 yards, a couple of touchdowns. You were unstoppable at the time, but when the conversation really starts with Coach Leach, and obviously he's passed away, I know you're devastated. I am one that is devastated also. He changed the way that we prepared. Like preparing for Texas Tech was exhausting, right? It was
Right.
exhausting on our scout team. It was exhausting on our defensive, scout leaders. Like they had no idea how to recreate essentially the chaos that you
Right.
guys created on the field. And let me tell you something, darn well it was cheating when I go to Lubbock and the crown on your field is like this. It was like I could look across the sidelines and see nothing but your freaking belly buttons up. And I'm like, these dudes,
Yeah.
every one of you was running downhill every single snap. It was absolutely an advantage for you guys.
No question. No, always had so many great memories at Texas Tech, and obviously, Coach Leach's first year was my first year. He was very innovative and starting such a new trend in college football, the spread offense and going fast, and not too many offenses were really doing that back then, and basically having four wide receivers on the field and really kind of a run and shoot type of deal. And it was super cool to be a part of because there's a lot of other schools I would gone to where it'd been two receivers, tight end, fullback, running back, and the opportunities for me of being in a slot receiver wouldn't have been there had I been in a different system. So it was just right timing for myself and being a part of Coach Leach's offense and the innovation that he was bringing along. It kind of, it's one of those deals where God kind of picked the school for me. I didn't, it was my only scholarship. So just very blessed with the situation that I was kind of pushed into and glad I was.
As you left Texas Tech, all eyes of us in the Big 12 were like, what is this kid going to do? What's next for him in the NFL? Is he big enough? Is he fast enough? What's his game going to turn into? And 12 years later, and in my opinion, I think you're a Hall of Famer. I think that's going to happen one day. You had one of the most incredible careers. What were some of the highlight moments for you?
Oh man, I look back. There's so many highlights, but really, I look back at just the journey of it all and where it started, where it went, the relationships along the way, and the mentors that I had, or just so many things that I've learned along the journey of being heartbroken by a game or by getting cut or somebody tell me I can't do something and proving them wrong, or this person not believing in me, but me believing myself, or whatever it was, or this person did believe in me, or however it kind of happened. But I just look back at really the journey and the relationships that I've made, and all the cool games I got to be a part of, and all those different things were so cool for me, and so instrumental in my life and shaping me, and all the hard times you go through, the good times you go through, the ups and downs. I think it's made me tougher. It's made me more resilient. Even now in coaching, it's the same deal. You're being told you can't do something or whatever it is. What's your motivating factors of trying to help these kids be the best that they can possibly be on a day in, day out basis. And it's challenging and it's hard, but that's the journey, and that's what makes it fun to me.
All right, I've got to ask, favorite coach you ever played for?
Man, so many great ones. I mean, even my high school coaches, Rod Warner and Andy Bogert, awesome. I mean, unbelievable people, unbelievable coaches. Learned so much from them. Obviously, having Mike Leach, Art Briles, the way he was able to motivate and believe in you, yet still be hard on you. Like, it was, I learned a lot from him, as far as that goes. But, I always looked at the coaches that, um, brought out the best in me. And I feel like those coaches really did a nice job of bringing out the best in me, and being able to motivate and push me in the right direction. But you could tell they were there for the kids, and they were there for the right reasons, and they were there to help you along in your journey and your career, along the way. So, getting to be a part of, coaches like that was more my style, and the way I enjoy playing the game, because it's supposed to be fun at the end.
All right, favorite quarterback you ever caught a pass from?
Oh, geez.
These are tough.
I've had some good ones, but Tom and I we grew up in the same offense, there in New England. The amount of work and hours that we put into, all of it was, it was really cool to be a part of, because we were able to talk through every single route against every single coverage, and we both had a plan. And here's my plan. Here's what I'm going to do. This is where I'm. He's expecting me to be, and talking through every single thing that could possibly come up, and having a plan for it. And it was really cool to be able to play with a player who kind of understood all that, and me being able to understand it as well, and us having a plan together to go out there and execute the way we need to execute.
When you saw Tom Brady leave the Patriots and head south to Tampa Bay,
Mm-hmm.
did you in any way think that he could accomplish and win a Super Bowl as quickly as he did down there? Like, were you surprised by that, or no?
Not
You
at
just
all.
knew that that's who he was. Wow.
Not at all. Not at all. No, that's who he is. Like, he's gonna make sure everybody's staying accountable within the offense. And really, at the end of the day, like, after being in the coaching world and everything, it's all about players, and it's us, trying to put them in the right positions and talking through things and all those things. But at the end of the day, it's them out there, competing and playing with each other, and making sure that they're on the same page and talking through things. And we're just there to kind of help them along the way, and trying to, put them in the best position possible to succeed.
I love that you're still a part of the game. I love that you are coaching in the NFL right now, wide receiver coach there at Miami. You coach one of the league's biggest superstars in Tyreek Hill. What's that transition been like for you from a player to a coach? And what's it like coaching the cheetah? That dude is unstoppable, it seems like.
No, it's been a lot of fun. It's very different. Being on this side, I feel like I've changed in ways of understanding my room, understanding the people I have in it, understanding the personalities, and from there being able to kind of navigate, how do I get these guys to play to their top tier ability possible, or whatever it is. And back in San Fran, I had some younger guys that I had to be really hard on. And hey, this way come on, let's do this. And with the guys that I have now, they're so talented and so good. It's just, all right, we know what to do. We know the all the different looks and everything. All right, now let's go play our game. Let's stay on top of our assignments. It's a different type of deal, and having veterans in there, and all that. And really, at the end of the day, how do you help them play the best that they can possibly play on Sundays? And that's been a cool part to just kind of navigate and feeling all those things through, and just trying to put the best product out there possible.
Now, you guys have got the Hard Knocks in season stuff going on right now. What's that like, just having the cameras around?
You know what? It hasn't been as bad as I thought.
Okay.
They kind of stay behind the scenes and everything, and yeah, guys are mic'd up and all that stuff. But I don't feel like it's been all too big of a distraction or anything, and hopefully it stays that way. But yeah, we've just kind of been going about our business the same way. But definitely have to watch what you say a little bit more than usual, even though they say they're not going to air anything bad. But who knows?
Right. Never trust the media. Very cool. Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time today. You are the very first guest in the Fields and Futures Huddle Up. One more, if you got a message out there for the kids involved in Fields and Futures, and we can get on out of here.
Yeah, I think, go participate, man. Go get involved, see if you like sports, see if it, try and create some discipline for yourself of, all right, yeah, I want to try and do something great with this or whatever it is, whether it's in school or, on the sports field or whatever. But try to get in a routine, try to be disciplined, getting up early, doing the things that are necessary for you to succeed in this world. And I think that's the main message we try to push across, and having those mentors to help us along the way.
That's Wes Welker. I'm Sam Mays. This is the Fields and Futures Huddle Up. Wes, thank you so much for your time. I truly believe that you're one of the greatest to ever do it. I think you changed the way that inside receiver position was played in the NFL, and I can't wait to see what's next for you. Thank you so much, sir.
Sam, I really appreciate you, man. Thank you.